Hi everybody, my name is Butternuts and welcome back to Everlasting Summer. So, I don't know who this is. They jump scared me last time and looks like we're just gonna have to see what's going on. So, let's get started. Rena. Ah, crap. Alright, whatever. Indeed, a moment later the door swung open and Oyana ran out and dashed past with the same mischievous grin. The pigtailed girl came out next. Don't let it bother you, Lena. So her name is Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Rena, at least. But I don't... Instead of finishing her sentence, she blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason, I felt like turning and following her with my eyes, but Slavia said, "Come!" We entered the cabin. Inside it looked like something similar to what I'd imagined. 2 beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe, nothing special, but at the same time it felt homelike and cozy. Although in this room it was almost in the same state of disorder as my own flat. A girl standing near the window approached to be about 25 years old. Nature had obviously gifted her with a pretty face and good body. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium: the locals are beautiful. You're finally here. Excellent. My name is Olga I'm the camp leader. Alright, I'm just gonna call you Olga every time I see that. Nice to meet you, I'm Semyon. I decided to talk as if I wasn't surprised by anything that was going on. She came closer. We've been expecting you since early this morning. Okay. This is creepy. You've been expecting me? Yes, of course. And when does the next bus come? And why do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? Guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike how I'd prefer. And I doubt I'd get any answers. No reason, just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Our mailing address, I mean. I wanted to send a letter to my parents and to tell them I got here fine. For some reason I had the desperate idea that if I played along I would find something out. Oh, but your parents called just half an hour ago. Send the regards to... What is going on? Come on, now that's a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. No. She gave me a sweet, spontaneous smile. Why not? We don't have a phone here. Then how did they call? Then how did my parents make a call to here? I've just come back from the district central town. I talked with them there. And so that's how it is. And can I somehow get to the town? No. She kept the same smile. Jesus Christ. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. I would get no answer anyways. Oh, I love this. All this time, Slavia was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing odd in our conversation. Oh, we need to find a uniform for you. I've got absolutely no desire to put on a pioneer short or to wear the ridiculously red neckerchief. However, wearing winter clothes in summer isn't a great idea either. Right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone's wearing a coat and winter boots in such heat. Rightio, I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come to dinner in the evening. Having said that, she walked out the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out. I ended up alone with Slavia. I must go too. Got things to do. Take a walk. Look around the camp a bit. See you in the evening. If there is no threat attached to this, then this reality, as embodied by Slavia, becomes more and more appealing. For the first time today, I realized that it was awfully hot here. although obviously my winter clothes were to blame for that. I took off my coat and dropped it onto the bed, and my pullover followed it. I was now wearing only my shirt. That was much better. All I could do now was follow their advice and go look around the camp. I'll try to find something out in the meantime. Passing the local residential district, I saw a pioneer guy coming my way. And it was really a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently there were men even in this kingdom of Amazons. Hello, you're new here. You must be Sevyan, right? And how do you... Everyone knows already. I'm Electronic, by the way. The real one. You can call me that. Don't wink at me. Electronic was a robot character appearing in a popular Soviet film and book series. He looked like an exact copy of a school kid called Sergei Chizkov. Electronic, okay? Things were going from crazy to completely insane. Alright. Ulyana also calls me Cheesy. Is it because you're blonde? Cheesy? On toast with mushrooms. What the hell is going on here? Because my last name is Cheesecake. Okay. I see. Let me show you around. I accepted his offer, as it would have taken much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. We ended up at the square again, as if this place was all there is to the cabin. Lena was sitting on one of the benches reading some book. Electronic confidently approached her. Hello, Lena. Meet the new guy, Semyon. Hello. Well, you could say we've already met in a way. Yes, she looked away from the book for a moment, glanced at me, blushed, and went back to reading as if not noticed that we were still here. Alright, let's go on. At first I was surprised that meeting this girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought it was better that way. Electronic's vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. Let's go! Next we came to a building which I instantly identified as a canteen. And this here? I know, this is where you consume organic food. Yeah, something like that. On the canteen's porch stood the unfriendly girl who hit me on the back earlier. At the sight of her, my joking mood vanished in the blink of an eye. Really, now is not the best time to be pulling this guy's leg, even though he is quite hilarious. First, I need to figure out what's what here, or at least where I am. Hi, over there that's, Jesus Christ! Alyssa Dvachekskaya. Be careful around her. He spoke in a whisper. Whatever, means two in Russian. The whole nickname sounds exactly like Tuchin. In Russian, a reference to the late Tuch. What did you say? What did you call me? She must have heard him. In the blink of an eye, Alyssa jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. I'm digging this music. Oh. Alright, you'll manage from here onwards. Electronic dug on his heels. Run after him, do nothing. Ah, I should have ran after him. Alyssa, okay, never mind. Alyssa running past stopped for a moment and grabbed, never mind. I'll deal with you later. Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I added a forced guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? She made no reply and carried on chasing Electronic. I'm gonna make that my ringtone. That was pretty cool music. Looks like I'll have to kill some time along waiting for dinner. I decided to go east. At least in the direction where east would be in my world. Soon after, I found myself near a football pitch. A game was in full swing there. I guess watching it for a bit wouldn't do any harm. In my childhood and teen years, I was not a bad player myself. And even thought of going professional, but a few injuries in a row killed my desire to risk my health for the sake of an uncertain chance in the game. Kids of different ages were running around the pitch. I could see a boy about 10, a girl about 14 years old. A girl. Hey, that's Oyana. Alright, so she plays football. What's so surprising? She seems a restless one after all. I was standing quite far from the pitch, but she still noticed me. Hey, you! Oyana shouted. Wanna play? I didn't know how to answer. On the one hand, running around for 10 minutes is no big deal. On the other hand, any wrong move in my situation could be my final one. But in any case, my attire wasn't suitable for the weather. If I played in my winter boots and warm jeans, I would sweat like a pig. And playing barefoot and without jeans would be simply unethical. Maybe another time, alright? I shouted in response, turned around and walked back. I was followed by Oyana's screams about my pants and about me being a pansy or something like that. Evening was falling, making me feel tired and empty after a day wasted with no real purpose. I came back to the square, sat down on a bench, and gave an exhausted sigh. I'd better sit here and wait for dinner. After all, it's easier to search for answers when you're not hungry. They do give food to the people here, right? You know, it's curious how the simplest human needs can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something. For example, I feel hungry now, so I care much less about where I am or what is happening to me. Could great people also be affected by this? And in that case, how did Spartacus start the slave uprising in ancient times? I could only conclude that I am not a great person, and does not really matter which mechanism I serve as a gear in, society, the Matrix, or a weird pioneer camp. My thoughts were immediately interrupted by the sound of bells chiming from a loudspeaker on a light pole. It must be the dinner call. I headed towards the canteen. It was a good thing that I knew where it was. Olga was there standing on the porch. I stopped and looked closely at her as if I was expecting something. She looked back at me for a while, but at last came closer. Semyon, what are you waiting for? Come in already. Come in already? Guess nothing bad can happen if I go with her. My stomach backed me up here. This actually doesn't look too bad. It looks like a nice place. The two of us went inside. The canteen looked like a canteen. This actually looks really nice. I've had a chance to visit a factory canteen at some point in my life. This one was exactly the same, just maybe a bit cleaner and more modern. Metal chairs and tables, glazed tiles on the walls and on the floor, unsophisticated tableware with the occasional crack. Guess that's what a canteen in a pioneer camp's supposed to look like. Semyon, wait a moment. We'll find you a place to sit. She looked around the place. Whoa, what the... Okay. Yeah, hold it right there. Olga shouted at Elisa, who passed by. What? What's up with your clothes? Anything wrong with them? Indeed, her attire looked somewhat provocative. Get your uniform nice and neat now. Alright, alright. Alyssa got her shirt right and walked past, shooting an unpleasant glare at me. So, where can we find you a place to sit? There weren't a lot of free seats. Go over there next to Oyana. Yeah, it's fine. The food's already on the table too. I had no other choice but to accept. In common Russian language, cutlet is minced meat, fried or baked in the shape of a... Oh god, I'm hungry. Oh, I didn't get to read that. But it looked so tasty that I had no chance to resist. Hi, what do you want? I replied rather rudely to Oyana, who was sitting next to me. Why didn't you play football with us? Because of my clothes, said I, pointing at the source of my problem. Oh, alright then, eat. She seems kind of fun. However, there wasn't much left to eat. My cutlet was missing from the plate. Only she could have done it. No, more precisely, none but Oyana could have done it. Give me back my cutlet. In a big family, you snooze, you lose. It can cost you a cutlet if you're careless. Give it back, I'm telling you. Attempt to take the cutlet. Do not attempt to take the cutlet. Yeah, take the cutlet. I looked at her menacingly and was about to reach out my hand. See? I don't have it. And indeed, Oyana's plate was empty. It seemed that this little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets. Take it easy. We'll work something out now. She grabbed my plate and ran off. There was no point in following her. If they wanted to poison me here, they could have done it in a much easier way. About a minute later, Oyana returned and handed me the plate with a steaming hot cup. Ooh! Here's one for the starving. Thanks. It was all I could say. I was so hungry that my suspicions were gone in a flash. I picked up the cutlet with my fork and... What the... Somebody... Oh, of course, she got it to me. What is with the rock music? No, not a bug, an insect. It got legs and it's wiggling. The plate fell to the floor and broke to pieces. The chair hit me hard on my leg while falling. I've disliked insects since I was a child, but when these creepy crawlies appear in my plate, that's just way too much. You little... Oyana seemed ready for such a twist and was already at the door laughing as if she had heard a fresh stand-up comedy joke. I dashed after her. We ran out of the canteen. We were just a few dozen meters apart and I felt I would catch this little girl easily. We ran through the square, past the club's house, and ran into the forest path. I started to gasp for breath. I should have quit smoking, I guess. Oyana passed out of sight on the next turn. It can't be true that she managed to get away from me. It simply can't. I stopped and tried to catch my breath again. Night was falling. Looks like I'm lost. It's a bad idea to stay in the woods at night. Better get to the camp. However, I absolutely no clue which way to go. Well, I gotta choose at random. I wandered for quite some time in the forest, and even though for crying for help, but finally I saw the camp's fence beyond the trees. Everything fell back into place. The bus is gone, I mumbled quietly. On the one hand, there was nothing strange about that. The bus couldn't just stay here forever. But on the other hand, it meant there was someone driving, because buses do not drive by themselves. Or do they? This world seemed too normal, but every event here had at least two explanations for it. An ordinary, real, everyday explanation, and a surreal one. Certainly the driver could have just been off for a snack and I left too soon, and that's why, in any case, this is not the place for me. Whether that bus drives itself or was probably an important question. Whether that bus drives itself or not was probably an important question, but it was much more important to know how I had got here at all, and where this here was. The fields and the woods stretching towards the horizon had no answers. There was nothing familiar about them. A strange, odd, and alien world. However, at the same time, it was absolutely not frightening. Either my self-preservation instincts decided to resign from its job, or all the running around the camp, the local pioneers, had lulled me so much with their carefree normality that I was simply forgetting what had happened to me just a couple of hours ago. Although I'd probably just had no strength left to worry, all I wanted was some peace, calmness. I wanted just to have a break from it all, and only after that I would continue looking for answers ready and reloaded. However, that would be the same sometime later. And what about now? Can I allow myself to relax? It got completely dark, and in any case, it was better to spend the night in the camp. I was about to head back when someone came up silently from behind. "Hello, what are you doing here so late?" It was Lavia standing before me. I was so surprised that I jumped. "So you didn't catch Oyana, did you?" She smiled. I nodded disappointedly and sighed. No wonder. No one ever has. Yeah, she's a real rocket girl. She could have found a better use of her energy than looking for adventures. You must be hungry. You didn't manage to have dinner at all. Indeed, I had completely forgotten about my hunger, but after these words of hers, my stomach drew attention to itself by giving a traitorous rumble. Let's go then. What is the canteen still open? It's all right. I have the keys. The keys? Yes, I have the keys to all the facilities in the camp. How come? Well, I have something like the camp leader's aide here. I see. Well, let's go. It was an offer you can't refuse. When we reached the square, Slavia stopped in her tracks. Excuse me, I should warn my roommate that I'll be late. She's so punctual herself that she'll be worried otherwise. You go to the canteen and I'll come in a minute, alright? Alright. I really did not expect to find somebody aside from myself there at such a late hour. And that somebody was apparently trying hopelessly to open the door. Without any secret thoughts, I walked up onto the porch. The lockpicker turned out to be Elisa. I should have probably kept off and waited. She looked at me intently for a while, then said, "Don't just stand there. Give me a hand or something." Meaning? Help me open the door. Why? 'Cause I want some buns and kefir. Dinner wasn't big enough. Is that really a good idea? Aren't you hungry yourself, huh? Well, Yana didn't let you have a normal dinner, did she? She smiled sarcastically. It's true, she didn't. It's fine, Slavia will come now and... What? Guess I shouldn't have said that. I'm off then. And you'll pay for this. You owe me 2 already. Having said that, Elisa disappeared into the night. And what was the first one? Slavia didn't keep me waiting for too long. Is everything alright? Yeah, why are you asking? No reason, it's nothing. It would be better if I didn't tell her about Elisa. Everything's fine. And said that, I immediately heard a note of dishonesty in my voice. Well, shall we go? As for Slavia, she seemed not to have noticed anything, or at least she pretended she hadn't. We entered the canteen. Wait a bit, I'll go get something. I sat down on a chair and obediently waited for my savior. Oh. The art style has changed like 3 times already. My dinner was simple, a few buns and a glass of kefir. No wonder, I bet hungry pioneers finished everything off. However, even that was far better than most of my usual diet. Slavia sat across the table and looked at me while I was eating. Is there something on my face? No, just... She smiled. So how did you like the first day at camp? Well, I don't really know. It's silly to ask someone who suddenly found himself in a different reality whether he liked the food in the canteen, the camp leader, or his assigned hut. It's alright, you'll get used to it. Slavia stared out at the window dreamingly. Frankly speaking, I have no desire to get used to such things, but as for her, she doesn't know. Or at least, she wants me to think that she doesn't. Well, all in all, it's nice here. I had to somehow break the awkward silence. Do you think so? She asked without any interest. Yeah, this place is so... I wanted to say retro, but I managed to hold that back. After all, it was retro for me, but what about them? It might be the only kind of life they knew. If the term life was applicable here at all. So how? She watched me closely, as if something important depended on my answer. Well, I don't know. Lovely. Yeah, it's lovely here. I guess you're right. She smiled again. It's very good that you think so. Why? Well, not everybody likes it here. And what about you? Me? Yeah. I love it here. It's great. Then you don't need to worry about what the other people think. Well, I don't really worry. Slavia laughed. This conversation seemed to be leading me far astray from where I wanted to get to. And you're worried yourself? Really? Why do you say so? Well, when somebody is chewing so intensely... I'm sorry. It's okay. I couldn't bring myself to be more cautious around this girl. But why her in particular? Why not any other local inhabitant? Every one of them looked completely normal to me. Precisely normal. So normal it sends chills down my spine and into my marrow. Normal, not like a neighbor with a power drill in one hand and a subwoofer in the other. Not like a passenger you can often meet in the subway or public transport. Not like a coworker at the next table in the plant office. And not like a friend who only differs from other humans in a content insistence. All of them looked normal, as I would expect them to be with their own downsides, but without any superpowers. And Slavia was also cute. I glanced at her stealthily, not knowing what to say. I'm sorry, I wanted to show you the camp, but ran off my feet. I didn't miss anything while on my own, I guess. Are you sure you haven't missed anything at all? She smiled so brightly that I had to drop my eyes in confusion. Well, how would I know it's my first day here? Okay, what have you seen so far? I've seen the square, the canteen, the football field, and what about the beach? Just from afar. You really should go there. Or let's do it together. Yeah, okay, we will. Her naturalness started to scare me, but then I thought, what if everything that happens here is how it's supposed to be in this world? It looks strange only to me, while for them, it is normal. Maybe I was thrown into the past? Yet, that would explain a lot. Can I ask a stupid question? No. God damn it! Slavia smiled and stood up from the table. It's late. Can you find the way to Olga by yourself? Of course I can, but why should I go there? She'll settle you with someone. What for? Probably this question seems stupid, because Slavia bursted into good-natured laughter. You need to sleep somewhere, right? That makes sense. Fine, I'll be off then. Good night. Night. It's strange that she left in such a hurry. A bundle of keys left in the door caught my attention. I was going to catch up to Slavia, but where does she live? And knocking on every door during the middle of the night didn't sound like a bright idea. Yeah, take the keys. I better take them. I'll give them back tomorrow because who knows what happens here at night. Such thoughts gave me chills. It's me who needs to be careful here in this first place. The night, though dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear chirping crickets, the song of the night birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. A sudden desire to follow Slavia's advice and go to the camp leader's cabin appeared. I don't know why, but the sight of an unknown bronze builder of communism put me in a constructive mood. I sat on the bench, started to recall everything that happened today. That was all my constructive mood could offer. Here was much brighter than near the canteen, and tardy pioneers were running by, so this place didn't seem scary at all. Bus, summer camp, girls. I was so tired from everything new and strange that I could not come up with a single explanation for what was going on. I heard a barely noticeable rustle nearby. I shivered and looked in the direction. A girl reading a book. Lena. I decided to move closer and talk. She was the only new person I had met here without exchanging even a few words. Hi. What are you reading? Lena was so surprised that she even jumped. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Never mind. She blushed and stared at a book again. So what are you reading? On the cover was written, Gone with the Wind. Keep silent. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits her very well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing the conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you, no. She answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? And really, why? Maybe just because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone. And maybe I wanted to find something out about her. I carefully examined Lena. But no, I doubt that. Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to? Feel free. But if I'm bothering you, no, you're not. I can leave, just say. Everything's alright. Okay then. I sat on the end of the bench carefully. After such an intense staying here was the last thing I wanted, but it would be nice just to stand up and leave. It wouldn't be nice just to stand up and leave. That didn't really go well, huh? Lena hadn't answered anything. It seems I made a fool of myself. I bet if Yana was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. Did you enjoy being here? I recalled Slavia's question and thought it would be a good start for a conversation. Yes. She smiled slightly. I guess I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable and probably can't carry a meaningless conversation as easy as Slavia. But there was something about her that attracted attention. Like a momentary glimpse of reflection in the glass of rainy autumn evening, which makes you turn around and stare into the darkness, searching for something that you saw out the corner of your eye. Of course, you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it felt so tempting. Lena was still reading the book without paying attention to my presence, and I had no intention of asking her anything about this camp or the real world in general. Beautiful night, yes. How in the world would you start a conversation with her? It's late, I have to go. Yes, it's quite late. Good night. Night. There was something strange about this girl. At first glance, she is typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the mystery of Lena took its own place in the massive list of mysteries about this camp, which I had started to put together in my head. A lazy evening. There's nothing like a good time with nothing to do. I headed towards Olga's cabin, and the light in the house was on. Hello, Semyon. You're quite late. Yeah, I went for a walk to look around the camp. Alright. You will be sleeping here. She pointed her fingers at one of the beds, right? Here. I was a bit surprised. Yeah, is something wrong? We're out of free cabins anyways. The camp leader smiled, but I rather think it was just out of politeness. You do what you want. You do want to be a decent pioneer, don't you? There was a clear emphasis on the weird decent. Yep, sure. I was lost in thought for a moment. Don't you mind it, mademoiselle? She looked at me oddly with surprise of some offense in her eyes. Offense, okay. A pioneer should respect their elders, Olga said strictly. Of course he should. No one argues with that. I blathered, not realizing what was wrong. Shouldn't you also? She stared at me. Under such a gaze, even Mr. Forge, my best dwarf masters from the deepest dungeons, would melt. Should I what? What up, Tess? Annoyance and a lack of understanding make me raise my voice. You must address adults appropriately. Yes, of course, there's lots of strange things here, but this girl is just a couple of years older than me. Or maybe even younger. But I decided not to argue. While just a few minutes ago I would never have called her an adult. I have to admit, she was also given a strong character. And in any case, I wasn't in any position to argue. As you say, ma'am, I mumbled. It's much better. And that is how a decent pioneer should conduct himself. And now it's time to sleep. Honestly speaking, I wasn't going to become neither decent nor an indecent pioneer. Just yesterday I wasn't going to become a pioneer at all, but do I have a choice now? If we don't want to, we'll have to make you. This is the motto Olga was probably going to use. I climbed into the bed. How tired I was after today. Something hammered in my head awfully, as if my brain started a night shift. And if they seemed to be aimed more at a rolling steel, then working on something more sensitive. I think here is a good place to leave off. This is actually getting kind of interesting. I still have no idea what's going on. No idea what to expect. That intro to this, I guess, chapter was a little strange. But I really hope you guys enjoy. I think I'll go ahead and continue this in the next episode. But until then, I really hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time. Butternuts out.